Hi guys, M Seeker here. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how misinformation can easily be weaved. I want to show you a con artist in action. So thanks to all my new subscribers. As you guys may know, I've been working on exposing conmen within the truther community, and I've been doing that for a while. I've just had a couple of numpties make a video trying to discredit me. So I'd like to quickly talk about that. I don't want to be on here long. I haven't really got time for it, but I thought I'd better set a few things straight and just show you them weaving misinformation in real time. It's David Mahoney and Lee Dawson made a video called The War of the Two Charlies. I've recently made this video, 30 Reasons Why I Don't Trust Charlie Ward, and that's what it's all about. To be honest, I don't want to carry on getting mixed up in this. I don't want to be part of a massive divide in the truther community. I've just put that video out there. I've put these facts, evidence, things that he's said, compiled them all together, put them out there. You guys make up your own mind. If you want to carry on following these guys after I expose them as cons, that's your prerogative. If you think that there's still some value there, you can get some truth from those channels. You don't want to look elsewhere for other truthers that are saying information in the same realms. That's your decision, guys. Just come and watch my video, and then make your own decisions from there. So anyway, this video has come out called The War of the Two Charlies, and David Mahoney and Lee Dawson start talking about Charlie Freak for a while. I don't want to go into that. Doesn't concern me. But then he obviously goes on to talk about me, and they kind of say come out of nowhere, and he's obsessed. He's been obsessed with the last 12 months, which it hasn't been. It's been 6 months. He's been debunking Greg Hallett, the fake king. So firstly, I'd like to say, yes, I did put a lot of work and effort. I made a lot of videos regarding that, and I made a lot of videos regarding yourself, David Mahoney, and that would obviously upset you. But at the end of the day, if I've caught a con in action, and back when I started, the popularity of Greg Hallett and his fake king thing, David had put 50 grand, he says, into making these documentaries. So someone goes and debunks it with hardly any, and it wasn't just me, others as well, but I did put a lot of work into that. You're going to be upset. That's 50 grand down the drain. Whereas Greg Hallett today, no one cares because he's not relevant, because it was a con. I'd lastly like to say on that, David, everyone's still waiting for an apology for you promoting a con, yet another con. So, moving on, one of the main things he tries to use to discredit me is that I don't share my name and my address, which you seem quite obsessed with. You've asked a few times where I live. You've asked to come and see me face to face when you come to England. And you're kidding no one, David. Everyone knows what face-to-face, I want to come and see you face-to-face means. And it's the same with the Charlie Freak message. You showed your side and you said it, in a nice, calm manner, hoping that people would wash over that face-to-face part. I just wanted to come and speak to him in person. It was all the way over in Mexico. Just so happened I was going to be in Mexico. No, guys, everyone surely can see what the intent was behind that. So yes, he's threatened to come and see me face to face, and he's also put out a tweet before, literally putting a hit out on me, saying so share your real name and address, £250 for anyone that gives me M Seeker's name and address. So with that in light, and then your pal Charlie threatening Chris Rice and saying that he could have sent the boys round to shut him up, it'd be wise to not be sharing. Why do I need to share my name and location? I'm not claiming to be anyone's king like the guy you promoted. I'm not claiming to have some amazing insider intel and then asking people for money. I'm not asking people for any money. I've not set up no donation pages to me. So guys, you have to question, he's saying, well, obviously he's a deep state operative because he doesn't share his name and location. Now, any wise person, any person that's really fighting the cabal and is not actually mixed in with con men, criminals, and the cabal, would be weary about speaking the truth about certain people, especially when they're throwing threats around and talking about their boxing, fighting, and training all the time. So there's that. There's the whole truth seeker thing. I don't feel the need to to share my name, and I think that anyone with any common sense and logic will know why. Another thing I was accused of, David said he's got intel, David or Charlie has got intel, that apparently I'm an ex-disgraced police officer that was disgraced for forging papers, I think he said, and was also involved in getting drug dealers off the hook. Firstly, I can categorically say I've never been a policeman. If I was an ex-policeman, it wouldn't harm me to actually share that. I wouldn't mind sharing that. There's nothing wrong with being a policeman. Yes, there's a lot of injustice going on with police officers in today's world, especially around this whole pandemic situation, but and these lockdown restrictions. But yeah, I'm not. You know, I have to question if he said he's got, I think, 3 witnesses, and they're still waiting to verify this information. I can tell you guys categorically he will not verify this information. If he does, ask him for proof. I'd love to see him try and put some proof out there. There will be none, because it's fabricated. It's fabricated to try and discredit me, because he's annoyed of what I have uncovered about certain cons going on, certain money-making schemes that have happened. So yeah, and you know, I have to question if some people have come forward and said, oh, they've got some drug dealers off the hook. I have to wonder what company you keep, what friends are telling you this, you know, what's their activities to be saying that. But to be honest, I think they're probably just pulling your leg, David, to see how much of an idiot you are. So there's that, you know, and now that I've put out a video of your friends and about your friend, and also that I've spoken to the financier of the Hidden King books, about to put a nail in the coffin and all of that whole con, which he spent a lot of money on and made documentaries on, and also have been sent an email exchange of Greg Hallett showing that he actually did, despite what David was saying before, turn his back on David, and is now saying that he was drinking with his buddies, the whole thing. That's what he turned the Hidden King into, and that he was just talking about poor people, and that he's just trying to cover up his crimes. So please read that. But yeah, you know, this whole getting hold of the Hidden King books, and getting hold of the financier, and hopefully getting hold of Francisco Manuel soon to completely discredit that whole con, because that's what it was. You were taking money. Maybe not you personally, Greg Hallett was. You were supporting that, and you knew about the fact that someone else was in line to be king, and Greg Hallett took that role. You knew that from the beginning and didn't think to share it in your documentary. That is a con. That is a con, okay? So, guys, I think a lot of people can see right through you. A lot of people can see right through others around you. People are waking up quickly. The video I did recently has obviously opened a lot of people's eyes. And you guys are worried, and that's why you're putting out this... as much as you say, you know, I'm not interested in MC Seeker's work, he bores me, trying to play down the whole situation, why make a video about me? Not only that, why put in a defamation complaint to YouTube about one of my videos? This was all about me showing a lot of things that were found on the internet when you research his name. And guys, you know, it has been banned, or I think temporarily banned, in the UK at the moment, or Great Britain, but you can watch it all around the rest of the world, and everyone's mirrored it. You can find it anywhere. It's on Rumble, BitChute, it's on my website. Check that video out. I think it's number 16 or something, regarding himself and what he's done in the past, and what's on scam awareness websites. So there's that. There's obviously hundreds of people on the internet calling him a con. He'd said that he'd had psychology. Yeah, so obviously he doesn't care too much, but he's had psychologists analyse me, and he said that that they had said that I've obviously got some sort of some sort of sexual attraction or something, that homosexual erotic fantasy. Of course he would say that. I'm sure he's just made up these psychics, and you know, I'm sure he would love to plug that in there, and you know, he thinks a lot of himself, I know. And he also said that that they said that I might have daddy issues. I have a father. I have no daddy issues. Don't really need to go into that too much. But the reason these psychologists were analysing me was they were psychoanalyzing some hilarious memes that are on my Facebook page, guys. And if you guys have seen them, actually, David and Lee found them hilarious. Lots of people do. I find them brilliant. The man's a genius. But anyway, so he shows you on this video, he's going through my Facebook page and he's showing you these memes that I've shared off someone else's page. Right. So that just shows how much of a complete, either a bullshitter, conman, misinformation artist you are. Either that, or you're just a really, really crap researcher. Because, I mean, you're about as much use as a chocolate teapot when it comes to that, mate. Because anyone could see, if they went on my page, go, oh, look, there's some guy sharing these memes and MC could share them. They're hilarious. No, you went on there, it's like, oh, this guy, oh, he must love me. That just says more about perhaps your that's your psychology. That you think that, I don't have time to make those, and I'm certainly, have you seen my editing skills? They're not that great. So with Photoshop, I'm pretty useless. But yeah, big up to the guy that made those. He is a genius, and actually he made my M Secret Productions graphic. This is how I know him, for my Allegedly King docuseries, all about the fake king. So that's how I met him. And funnily enough, David, I'm not the only, as much as you'd like to think so, I'm not the only person that thinks you're a con man and is calling you out for it. There is hundreds of thousands of others. Actually, this guy is not the only guy that makes memes about you. So I'll put a couple up on the screen. There's one which you talked about in a previous video that you'd seen. Guy mocked you up as a clown. There's another lady that does a lot of them, and she's hilarious. And what the charm about it is that she's not professional about it. She just quickly puts them together. So yeah, the memes, they weren't me. I shared them because I found them hilarious. They weren't me, and for you to say they were me and make this big thing about it just shows more about you, your researching skills, your misinformation, your intent, your agenda, to try and discredit me, and it was poor. Yeah. So the last thing I want to address in all this is you say, oh, I bet he wears a mask. I've never worn a mask. I'm exempt. And I also, I agree with you. I agree with your work around masks and whatnot. In fact, you said, oh, why don't I do something useful like call out Matt Hancock or do something about masks. Again, you're just, the whole research fails you, or you are a complete misinformation artist. I made a video called Taking the Needle. This was 9 weeks ago on 9th of December. It was banned from YouTube within 20 minutes of me dropping it. You can find it on Rumble. Especially my loved ones. How this will affect me in my professional and personal life as I try to carry on living day to day in a society of the future, I am not certain. Hopefully enough voices are heard that can stop hindrances and loss of freedoms in mine, my family's, and anyone listening's lives. The vaccine is here. Time has all but run out. Help inform people, stand up, be heard, and I strongly advise you to not take this vaccine. So there's that, there's that video that is clearly me talking about vaccines, talking about our own civil liberties, our own, fighting for what we think is right in terms of, not having forced experimental biological agents forced upon us, or having to conform to things like mask wearing. But then also I made another video, I think around 18th of December. And this one was called Have Yourselves a COVID Little Christmas. And it was about Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock and the tier system. So there you go. Your suggestion to do that sort of work, I have been doing. So again, you're just completely wrong. It's not even misinformation, it's disinformation you're spreading. You've got an agenda, everyone can see it. So guys, you have to think to yourselves, with the guy with a small channel, right, with less of a following, that's being very careful that actually his research, not like this Muppet bringing up stuff that's not true, does actual research and gives you actual video evidence of that, and you can go back and look at the originals and match up and find out that it's all very true. Puts a lot of work into it and does it because of people's mental health and knowing and proving that people are conning you. Would this guy be the operative? Or would it be the group of people that are expatriates living in Spain, is in Costa del Crime, Marbella, you know, where a lot of criminals go to live and leave because they can't live here any longer, and you know, probably surrounded by more criminals, Conmen, and maybe the cabal, you know, and who would they go to for this sort of, you know, to be mouthpieces for them? Not scared about sharing their name, I'm sure they're not, because they're probably protected, because they probably are the deep state, or that may be giving too much credit to them. They're probably just really rubbish researchers, and that's why all this bad intel's coming out, and that's why this attempt to discredit me was just so half-assed and just pure disinformation, just muppets. So, you know, would them guys be the guys that you should be looking into? With all the information that I've brought to light, with the obvious con of the fake king, which they all promoted, which you all know now was a con. Ask yourselves who really is trying to have you hoodwinked here. So lastly, you know, Lee, for you said, well, this is the first time he's ever mentioned me talking about something that someone else created. I'd never mentioned you. You know, I know you're probably up to cons like those other guys. You know, you promoted the fake king, which was a con. But to be honest, I haven't bothered really looking into you, because the feeling's mutual, mate. You bore me. So yeah, that's it, guys. So take my information for what it is. There you go. There's a couple of guys weaving a load of misinformation to try and discredit me. So lastly, the last thing I want to say is, look, I can't be bothered with all this. I've given you guys information. I've given you proof, evidence of you know, very dodgy things, cons and people asking for money. I don't ask you for money. So take that as you will. I'm not going to get roped into anymore. I don't want to be part of a divide. I don't want to talk about these guys anymore unless they commit another, you know, big con, in which case I'll be all over it and I'll share it with you guys so you know. But really, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in a war of the words anymore. I just wanted to state my case to show you guys where people spin bullshit, how they spin bullshit, and if they're going to try and spin bullshit on me, of course, I'm going to show you what muppets they are. So that's that. And yeah, I don't really want to talk about Charlie Ward anymore, David Mahoney anymore. You know, I've got a bit of work to do around putting the final nails in the coffin, even though people say it's a dead issue. But it's not a dead issue if there's still people out there pinning hopes on a fake king and still pinning, giving them money, you know. So it's not a dead issue for me. People are, oh, you're obsessive. Yeah, I am, but look at the results I've produced. If I get my teeth into something that I know is hurting people, I will stop it and I will save people. So last thing I'll say, guys, is go back over my work, look through the comments, and just look at the sheer amount of people that have thanked me for my work and have really helped them, said that I opened their eyes, said that I've, you know, saved them from giving any more money, saved them from giving any more time, saved them from giving any more hope, and saved their mental health. That is why my work is important. That is what keeps me going. That is why I seem so obsessive and so passionate about it. So that's my case, guys. Take it as you will. Carry on following these shills if you like. Follow me if you like. I'm really happy to have all the new subscribers that have come to my channel. And I promise you guys, I'll carry on being truthful, and I'll make some more quality content for you. And definitely look into some of the people that have been brought forward to me. It's also not something that I really want to do. That is not my my description of who I want to be, a guy that goes around exposing people for being con men. But it is a very important task, and I will carry on doing it. But I do want to make some different content, so perhaps the next video will be something on a bit of a lighter note. Thanks for listening, guys. Follow MC Good Truth.